Another season of Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action begins here tonight. In terms of our broadcast, the season technically kicked off last night between the Toronto Beaches and the Whitby Warriors. Toronto taking that matchup 11-9. Two teams that represented Ontario in the Minto Cup. Oakville Buzz came oh so close to getting out of the first round last year. And for the Six Nations Arrows, they had to make a late push to try and make it in the playoffs. One of three teams that didn't quite get there. Both of these teams trying to make different stories here this season. I'm Matthew Carrick, in for the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League and the JVI Sports Network as we present OJLL Lacrosse here from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Your officials are Simon D'Souza, Roger Nurse, and Dale Sett. Cream-colored jerseys going right to left on your screen for the home Oakville Buzz. Wearing the captaincy this season is Chris Dong, the only player from Oakville to play all 20 games last year for the Buzz. Crouching in for the face-off, Ross Hill, one of 8 returning Six Nations Arrows players in the lineup here tonight for Stu Montour. And the opening face-off will get in the stick of the Buzz. 12 returnees on the roster tonight for the Buzz, and team that doesn't really lose a lot of players. Dong will put the ball down after going back over center. Scheduled for 3 20-minute periods as we get you back accustomed to summer rules here in Ontario. Long bounce pass for Tyler Davis out to the far boards. Coming off the bench, Winter Rivera, low shot there from Thunder Hill. One of 2 explosive offensive players. And speaking of explosive, here comes a transition of the Buzz on display. Matthew Kirchmeier forced Ethan Robertson into an early save, a .982 save percentage for Robertson last year. Brand new goaltending tandem, though, for the Buzz, as they'll turn to Dante Mancini out of Laurier and the Guelph Regals program. Already a win under his belt in junior for Mancini with the Regals this season. Not tested there, though, as it's picked up again by Kirchmeier. Bench screaming at Kirchmeier to slow things down, getting Ryan Barker out onto the floor. He had 5 games last season. Jack McAlpine will take over. Popping out the top. The ball comes back to the near side. Under 10 on the shot clock. Marcus Kelleher's long shot. That hit the post, it sounded like, and rolled around behind Robertson, but with the help of his defense, that stays on the correct side of the line. Cash Doc Stater. Back for Thunder Hill. 29-goal campaign. Looking for help. There's only 4 arrows on the floor right now. Now the 5th one joins in, but with 10 to go on their clock. Big high step shot there from Hodo Martin. And then Martin gets drilled at the side of the crease. Canadian crease rules here as well, so with Martin on the doorstep, cannot reach into that blue paint. As Six Nations will get a fresh 30 seconds here. Martin over the top. He'll go over to the right side of the floor. Quick and hard pass. Bounces out of the stick of Tyler Davis. He then gets run over by Dong on the way. Pick up that loose ball, and quick transition for the Buzz on display early on as they come off the bench. That one sounded like it may have skimmed off the post, but lead official says no. Pair of shots for both teams so far in the early going of this period. Josh Dawick trying to find brother Luke on the doorstep. And it didn't take long for that to happen. It was Jake Dawick, of course. Josh, part of a long list of graduating Buzz players who have made their way to the NLL, including, as we alluded to earlier, both goaltenders from this Buzz program last year. Sammy Haynes with Toronto and Aiden Walsh, a draft pick of the Georgia Swarm. Six Nations shot bounces off the dasher, goes up out of play. Tipped at center. And recovered back here by Bagnall. Xander Durkat will dance around a screen and take that shot. Robertson saw it all the way and will hang on. Nola Squire. Giving it here to Eric Martin. He'll find Davis trailing the play, and they go to the outside boards. Playing it back for Martin. He eats a big check. Trying to work the pick and roll. And the return pass back to the far side from Winter Rivera. Ends up down on the turf. Dong leading the charge again. 3-on-1 here for Oakville. Dong will pass it far side. The shot. And they're celebrating goal, and it is indeed in. Lucas Hukel. I believe the beneficiary here of a transition attack coming out for the Oakville Buzz that has been dynamite already in this game. That's their first goal to show for it, but 3 or 4 fast break chances, which normally is the story in the second period, but boys are already running over on that home bench. After setting up the transition, Dong heads to the bench. Zach Coleman in to take and win the faceoff. Big collision behind the play, though, that knocked Bagnall down. Big stutter step there from Luke Dawick. Couldn't find his man on the crease, and now Kenny Porter will bring it back the other way. Porter for Thunderhill. Likes to go to Rivera, now down in the corner. Martin has it again. Double team on Martin. They've been trying to get that pick and roll working here on the left side, and nothing doing so far for the Arrows. Long shot, Thunderhill. Gets in on Dante Mancini, and he'll hang on. His backup tonight, by the way, Evan Konstantinopoulos from Halton Hills, and Dale Sett had an 8-second count. Only 8 seconds allowed to get across center, and you gain possession. So that allows Damon Dockstader to go to work with Tyler Davis here. Backing into pressure, Cash Dockstader crashed into 3 defenders on the crease. One of them was Dong back out there again, and this time they're quicker out that back door of Six Nations to take the transition away. We've played 5.5 minutes here in the first period. 1-0 to score for the Oakville Buzz. Down in the corner, Jake Wright. Coming all the way back up top to Cy Deer. His long shot handled by Robertson. And Robertson will put it into the stick of Hadoa Smith. Bit of high contact on the near side, went undetected, and now a skip shot from the far side from Winter Rivera. Goes in and caught the throat guard of Mancini before going sky high, as does the arm of Dale Sett. We'll get our first penalty coming here, and it'll be against Six Nations, the most penalized team in the OJLL last season, with 495 minutes of penalties. And Thunderhill will take our first minor of the game. Elsewhere tonight, Mimico Mountaineers in Kitchener-Waterloo. KW winning just 1 game last year, and it came to Six Nations down the stretch. Broke up what was going to be a long streak. From the outside, Jake Wright's shot handled by Robertson. It will be brought up over center. And now Kenny Porter will slow down. Six Nations had a weekend near the end of June where on back-to-back days they beat the Mimico Mountaineers in Mimico and then beat the Buzz here 5-4 at the track. And that put some hope into their playoff chances, but in the end came up 2 games shy of making it into the postseason. Buzz, meanwhile, eliminated in a thrilling game number 5 that's still available on the YouTube channel against the Orangeville Northmen. This is the Buzz setting up here in the back half of their power play. Long shot, high step from Jake Dawick. It gets in on Robertson. Picked up and out over center, but too hot for Hadaway Smith to handle, and look out down in the corner. As Smith collided there, I believe that's Jack McAlpine down in the corner. And an 8-second called by Dale Sett. I think I've got the same question perhaps that Buzz bench does, that the shot clock never reset. Therefore, Oakville never really got possession. But it is back in Six Nations stick now, and can't take the entire penalty now. They're about 3 extra seconds than there are on the shot clock, and they throw it away anyways, as here come the Buzz. Hukel across center, Dirkats backpedaling. Trying to get away from the check of Isaac Squire-Hill. Passes off as we go back to 5-on-5. Nothing doing on the first power play of the game for Oakville. Still 1-0, a minute and a half away from this halfway mark of period number 1. Scheduled for 20 minutes. Ball down in the corner. That gets away from Damon Dockstader, who then steals it back, and Mancini, all kinds of dance moves to match Thunderhill and make an incredible save. Dong for Dawick. Tried the hidden ball play there with Marcus Kelleher, and would have been absolutely perfect except for the fact that it rolled out of the stick. Now down in the corner. This is Luke Dawick. Bright red shoes on the younger Dawick, who wears number 11. Up and across center, Cash Dockstader. Pass here to Winter Rivera. Now in the stick of Hodo Martin. Always wants to go through that center, at least so far in this game, and a shoulder shrug from Mancini puts that ball in the corner. Hukel had a head of steam, but facing a 3-man wall of Arrows defenders. We'll give off to side here and see what he can do. Here's Dirkats. Xander Dirkats past one, a low shot. Robertson the save, and then defender for Six Nations filled in after the fact as that ball bounces back out in front of the crease. We're now past the halfway mark of this first period. Isaac Squire-Hill bringing it back to Thunderhill. Just the one transition goal by Travis Hukel. Only marker so far as the Buzz lead this one 1-0. Up and across center for Thomas Bagnall. He'll wait it out and had thoughts of passing the ball away. Now he does, putting it in the stick of Dawick. That's Jake going in the corner for Luke, and everyone peels away. We get a high stick called by Roger Nurse down in the corner. Goaltenders will take the immediate timeout and the water break. Which gives us a chance to remind you of our next broadcast, the second of 2 games of the week. Coming up on Saturday when the Brampton Excelsiors will be right here. The Toronto Rock Athletic Center for a 7 p.m. start. We're going to take a quick timeout and we'll be back when play resumes with Oakville going to the power play. At the Toronto Rock Athletic Center for our first OJLL game of the week. Second power play opportunity for the Oakville Buzz, who lead 1-0 with about 9 minutes left here in period number 1. Jake Wright holding top spot. They put it down in the corner now. Jake Dawick wheels out his shot, hits Robertson. Ball brought across center. Officials reminding the bench of the off-ball slash as someone ate a pretty decent hack coming across center. Pass looking for Winter Rivera in the corner. Skips back into the crease of Mancini. Hukel. He was reminded by the bench of the 8-second count after a couple zigzags just before the line. Minute and 4 seconds to go here on the power play. Last one is out there for Jake Wright and company. Trying to find Jack McAlpine. Ball ended up on the carpet and picked up here by Six Nations. What a back check by Ryan Barker there to get on the back of the Six Nations player, but not aggressive enough to draw the penalty as it's put back in the Oakville stick, and they'll have another chance here on this man advantage, which is down to 30 seconds. 7:40 left to go in our first period. Deere working through Kelleher. Luke Dawick in the corner. Out through the middle, Malachi Good standing right in between the box as the ball goes down. A lot of extra down there with Deere trying to pick it out. And it'll be a fresh 30 seconds. No look pass across for Deere. He wasn't ready for it and swallowed up, well, nearly swallowed up by Six Nations, and now it'll be passed away in the direction of Luke Dawick. We are back to 5-on-5 with McAlpine giving back to Dawick. He'll send it towards the half boards. And McAlpine was cutting to the net, but the intended pass intercepted by Kenny Porter. Finds a trailer, Thunderhill, back to the crease, and ball down, misplayed by O'Maracle. 11 goals in limited action last season for O'Maracle. Ball back to Damon Dockstader. He got into 2 games as an AP last season. Late in the shot clock, Thunderhill trying to beat the clock and can't do that, so Dong has to bring it towards center and gives to Durkatz. Xander Durkatz looking for help, finds it in Luke Dawick. Back down into the corner. Side Deer pops out of the screen and now sets a couple picks. Durkatz fell and gets filled in after passing that ball to the far side, and that's going to do it for the Oakville shot clock. They get the quick restart though. Cole Palace. Okay, Jimerson setting up a shot there. All kinds of time for Rivera, who rang it off the post. This will be a fresh 30. Hodo Martin in the corner. Off the end glass, Ross Hill. I believe that's the first time we're calling Hill's name, who 37 points, was third on this Six Nations squad last year. Slip on the turf there. Dangerous play for Marcus Kelleher as Hadoa Smith was coming in and did a hitch in the step for Smith going off to the bench. And meanwhile, a big hit. Enon Kelleher back down on the other end. Spin back move, reaching to the far side. Damon Dockstader. One of the better chances Six Nations have had here in the first 15 minutes or so of this first period. Still yet to solve Dante Mancini, however. Only one on the board on the side of Oakville. Durkatz. Sending it to right, out of the corner. Comes back for side here. Looked into the corner, no one there, and fires it off the face mask of Robertson. Simon D'Souza looked like he asked if he was all right, and he gave him the nod. Yes, he was. D'Souza will check again. This time he gets the thumbs up. Quick shot the other way, Nolo Squire. Sent it in on Mancini, and Robertson and his mask off in behind the play, so D'Souza will hold up and wait. And Robertson is going to take a second to go and get a glass of water, being told here in-house that Mimico and Kitchener tied at 2 as well, the other game tonight. As we'll step aside, you're watching Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action here on YouTube. Reminder to subscribe to our channel here, and you won't miss any of our action throughout the season, as every game will be right here on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League's YouTube channel. And when we're not streaming games, you can get caught up on what a great season we had last year. Ball thrown away by Oakville. 3:40 to go here in the period, and Six Nations will roll it all the way back up top to Winter Rivera. Again, a bit of a late change. Not sure if that's on purpose or not, as Hodo Martin came off the bench and ran straight into the pile, and then as the pass tried to get back to Rivera, it hit him off the face mask. Dong will sidestep across center. 11-9 shots here in this first period in favor of Oakville, is what's showing in-house. Xander Durkatz works past the screen from Jack McAlpine. Durkatz, far side. Brought down by Wright. He'll put it into the corner. Oakville tries to scamper free at the tail end of their shot clock, and Durkatz can't bring it down. Nolo Squire all over him there to force the shot clock violation. Damon Dockstader. It's McKay Jimerson off the post and in. And finally that shot from the right side finds the mark and gets through. And I believe it's Miracle breaking the ice. Big hard shot. We've seen that a few times from Six Nations, trying to look for that outside one right where I believe there's a face-off dot on the turf at the ILA where they play, where that shot was taken from for Miracle, and trying from that spot, and they finally hone it in to tie this game at 1-1. Martin trying to pass through. His pass went wide into the corner. Now another shot shoveled away by Mancini into the corner. Winter Rivera back with it again. Comes to the near side from Martin. Shrugs off a defender. And well, defender got out of the way with a bit too much aggression in the opinion of Dale Sett. Inside the 2-minute warning here in our first period. Miracle from Damon Dockstader, the most recent goal that tied it up 1-1. Luke Dawick from the far side looks for the low shot, and trying to dig it out there was Malachi Good. Damon Dockstader through Rivera, down into the corner. Now quickly back to Dockstader again, under 10 on the shot clock. Loading up from that same spot, and this time it's McKay Jimerson who got it through to Mancini, who was there and equal to that attempt. Now Dong, down floor. Just over a minute to go. He's going to take it to the net and right into the face of Ethan Robertson, who held his ground to make the save. Officials were right there to separate everybody as we go back the other way in the stick of Isaac Squire-Hill. He'll leave it back for Martin. Rivera. Bench screaming to shoot. I think that's Oakville's bench wanting the shot to go through with only 40 seconds to go. Perhaps it was Six Nations wanting to go 2 for 1. Back for Matthew Kirchmeyer. Wearing the Villas jersey, and Oakville did get that one off, and Six Nations are going to burn their first period timeout here. Drop a play, and we'll show you what it is on the other side of this timeout. Goaltender out here for Stu Montour and the Six Nations Arrows. Ball starting the stick of Ross Hill as they'll put 6 attackers out trying to break a deadlock. 28 seconds with which to work. Probably going to use the majority of that. Up high, Tyler Davis. And Miracle, the most recent goal scorer. They're playing catch right now. Down in the corner to Rivera. On the near side. Martin and Dockstader. And defender fell far side. They did get the shot at the last second on the crease from Winter Rivera, but Mancini, as he was 11 other times in the period there to make the save. 1-1 is your score after this first period. You're watching Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action presented by the JVI Sports Network. And a big thank you to our sponsors.
On our family dairy farm, there's a saying that the sun doesn't start the day, we do. It's our daily reminder to be our best, make our best. And that our dairy farm doesn't just take care of our family. It's part of something bigger. That's dairy done right.
Gatorade, with electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
Back inside the Toronto Rock Athletics Center for period number 2. Teams have switched sides here. Oakville will be going left to right. Six Nations right to left as we open this middle frame. 1-1 your score after 1. Shots favoring Oakville 15-12, at least showing here in-house. We can also let you know that Mimico and KW are tied 3-3. For more on that game and the rest of our schedule, visit OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. You can also check out the Bar Down Shop. More on that as our broadcast continues. Six Nations picking up this loose ball as they'll give it back to Isaac Squire-Hill, trying to start some transition of his own. Switches hands and fires that shot wide of the mark off the end boards. They go back to the crease now. Owen Van Loon will send to Brody Thomas. Don't think we saw Thomas take an offensive shift in that first period. Low shot from Thunder Hill. Bounces off of Dante Mancini and into the corner. Two quick shots here early on in the opening possession for Six Nations, and Van Loon will recover. Looked like he was going to extend it, but taking it to the crease. Ball got stripped. Matthew Kirchmeier plays it to the corner. Bit of a shove here for the ball carrier. Pulls back out and gives to Luke Dawick. That was Dirk Katz in the middle looking for right. Dawick spins it and fires right out of room, touching in the crease. Six Nations have it in the corner, waiting the full offensive line to get out there before Winter Rivera goes to work. Back for O Miracle. Lone goal scorer for Six Nations in that first period. Thrown out and a bounce to Dong, and too many on the floor. Believe for Oakville will put them in the penalty box. First time that they're going to go man down here in this game. 0 for 2 in that first period on the power play. And for Six Nations, yes, they were 9th in the league, but they had the 6th best power play goals, scoring 42 times with the man advantage last year. Just under a third of their team goals scored here on the power play. Their first one of the night. We'll see what they have. With Tyler Davis up top, takes the shot past a big swarm of Buzz players coming up to take that shot away. Davis looking to his right first. Lefty shooter is Doc Stater. Did take the shot and got it right back after the Mancini save. 30 seconds gone in the power play. Thunder Hill out of the corner. Doc Stater, now Davis. Works around his screen. Back to the near side floater. Close to the line. Roger Nurse says it did not cross. But Ross Hill right there came oh so close to giving Six Nations the lead. Here's Chris Dong back the other way. He'll slow things down. Minute left in the penalty. Close change here on that Oakville bench. Malachi Good will back away. 5 left in the shot clock. Don't think Oakville really cared too much as Dawick passes back to Good, climbing the ladder, looking quick stick. And Robertson goes right to left, quick enough to answer that call. Ross Hill. Davis off the bench to play quarterback again. Plays it off to the left side. Thunder Hill out in the middle to cause trouble. Davis, quick stick on the crease. Rebound back out. And off the stick or the foot. One of those from Ross Hill. Put it in the corner and tie up there. And on the way out, Hill gave a shot to Zach Kuhlman right in front of the official. And just like that, Six Nations is going to negate this power play. Although Oakville have time to run the whole clock down. He get a full 2 minutes. We are 5-on-5 in good hands from Joel Johnson, head coach over there on that Oakville bench. Not a great penalty for Ross Hill to take for the third of the night for Six Nations. Still knotted at 1, so 4 minutes gone in this period. Luke Dawick into the corner. Third power play chance for the Buzz. Dawick and right so far. Big head fake on the far side. Shot straight down the pipe right there, and Robertson made the save. Owen Van Loon jogs it into attacking territory. Quick stick, and Kenny Porter put it off the shoulder of a sliding Mancini. Coleman in transition. Circles past the net and will now head off after ball works its way through Durkatz and Jake Dawick. All the way up top. Jack McAlpine, the shot from the corner goes in. And on their third power play chance, the Oakville Buzz finally make good. Ball kept up high, and wow, that's a weird bounce from Jake Dawick. Only scored 7 times last season, putting up 30 points, as did brother Luke with just 9 goals, but kind of a weird shot in front of Robertson, and we get early movement from Six Nations. Ross Hill trying to say it was Coolman's way. And then he changes his mind after trying to see who's out there for Oakville, because they were arguing, thought they were getting the ball, and Dale said acknowledged his mistake and changed his mind. I wondered if they had offensive players out there, but it is transition, including Lucas Hukel, the first goal scorer of the day for Oakville. And this is the third time tonight that they've been called on the 8-second count. Has just taken a bit too long to get out of their zone. Another possession here for the Arrows. Hill from the outside feeds it in tight, and no shot from Winter Rivera. Ball carrier, I think that's Hukel in the middle of the pile. This is all on Oakville's clock, as they're going to get burned again. Or maybe not, as Kirschmeyer brings it up. 3-on-1 here for Oakville. Ball bouncing in front of Richardson. Never got far enough for either Thomas Bagnall or Hayden Thompson to pick it up. Strange sequence on both ends of the floor there. We continue with O'Maracle. Out to the far side. Eric Martin. Martin from the corner. Low shot off the stick of Mancini. Beat the shot clock and then hit high off the glass. Does stay in play and bounces right to Carter Morant. Ethan Kelleher. That Will Sheehan jersey had a ton of points in it last season. Kelleher trying to do the 14 good here after playing just 2 games in a Buzz uniform in 2022. Jack McAlpine from the outside, going to run it through, and late in the shot clock, this one's going to just stay in play, but wide of the mark at the 30-second horn. 7 minutes gone here in period number 2. 2-1 in favor of Oakville. The Jake Dawick power play goal. And look out here, breaking free was Hill out of the corner. May have gone for the dive, but can't do that here in this season as Dawick brings it down back the other way. Jake Dawick getting the pass from Good. Rebound didn't roll far enough from Richardson, and Dawick got dropped afterwards. He thought the ball was coming back to Oakville, but it's Six Nations and Owen Van Loon running out with it. Brody Thomas. Outside, Dong spying him off the bench. Big hard step shot there from Davis. In front and leveled was O'Maracle. Dong brings the ball down. Slammed in the brakes and got rid of Thomas. Now Dong having to deal with high pressure from Van Loon. Dong will set the screen. Malachi Good runs around. He's going to take it all the way to the crease. And his sidearm shot rolls wide. Look out here. Kenny Porter on the breakaway. Saved by Mancini. Cole Powless picks up the rebound, however, and it'll be another possession for Six Nations and a fresh 30. Thunderhill in through the middle. Getting absolutely worked over, as was the ball carrier, Ross Hill, on the near side. Run over by Kyle Carey. He plays it up over his head and the defender. Into the stick of Lucas Hukel. Nifty little play from Carey. McAlpine over the top, finds Luke Dawick off the bench. Luke to Jake, and that shot found Robertson and then went up out of play, and then a stick check from Dawick. Popped the ball free and it goes directly out of play. Draws a bunch of stick taps over on that home bench. Durkat's shot, saved by Robertson. Rebound into the stick of McAlpine. Gonna make space here. Looking back for Durkats. Malachi Good. Long run. Oh, had Richardson going down as the ball went high and just put it over top of the crossbar. Second shot looking 5-hole. Robertson makes the stick save, and we're seconds away from the halfway mark of this period. Remember, low scoring affair last time these two teams met. Last year as a shoulder shrug save from Damon Dockstader. 5-4 arrows last season as these two teams split the season series, with Oakville winning out at the ILA. Got a penalty coming up here to the Arrows. As the shot is taken, Robertson makes the save, and Six Nations will pick up the rebound and will get the holding call. Fourth power play of the game coming here to the Oakville Buzz. Water break for the goaltenders as well, and a timeout for us. You're watching Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action. Quick restart here for Oakville, who scored on their most recent power play. This is their fourth of the night. As McAlpine wheels off center spot, Kelleher looking for the return shot, and that bounced wide and springs Owen Van Loon the low shot. Taken away from the 5-hole by the stick of Mancini. Coleman to clear center. Dawick will wait for the power play unit to get out there. It includes Malachi Good, McAlpine, his brother Luke, and over on the far side, the shooting side deer, who saw him at the equipment table for most of that first period. Looked like he was getting his helmet looked at, so guess everything is good to go there. And it was late in the shot clock. They never got one. They're asking for it to be reset. Oakville may have got an extra 11 seconds. Count is down on the floor with Simon D'Souza. Sounds like 15 seconds. So his side deer puts it back in the corner. Low shot. It'll be reset now for good as Robertson makes the save in the stick and then throws it out, trying to spring Kenny Porter, who moments ago had a breakaway stopped by Mancini. This one just out of his reach, however. And with 25 seconds left to go in their man advantage, the power play of Oakville goes back to work. Jake Dawick back to brother Luke. Now to McAlpine, and that one got through Wright and Durkatz bouncing out of the corner. Huge collision there. Wright's going to go for a high stick, it sounded like, as Hadaway Smith slows things up. Pressure all over the ball carrier Smith here as we go back to 5-on-5. Now the extra attacker is out there for Six Nations. Ross Hill. Over to the crease, Thunderhill tried to sneak it past the post and may have hit the outside of the cage. Here's Tyler Davis. Him and Hill playing catch, and they went for the quick stick to Rivera. And as it's touched here by Oakville, we will get the whistle and the penalty call. Just the second one of the game against Oakville. Had it too many men earlier, and Jake Wright will go off for a slash here to see if Six Nations can tie this one up. 25 shots so far to 24 for Oakville. 2-1 the Buzz lead. Davis fakes the shot from up top. They were trying to get it across to Ross Hill the entire way and couldn't do it. Now look out, here's Dong in behind everybody. Fakes out the defender who then takes out Robertson himself. Isaac Squire Hill was going downhill too fast and got a good chunk of his goaltender. Here are the Arrows with 1:20 left on their power play. Closing in on 6 minutes left in the period. Thunderhill working it back through. Tyler Davis, low shot. Save made by Mancini. Hill going after that rebound with a purpose, but it rolls too far. Kyle Carey. 2 men on him and no sign of help coming off that bench. Carey gets the ball stripped and he goes down. Ball loose in the corner behind the pile-up. Look out there is, I believe that might have been Kelleher stumbling on that ball, going in to look for it. Still up for grabs, and it will be Six Nations that ends up coming away with it, but that took the better part of about 25 seconds off the clock. Only 30 left now in the power play for Six Nations. Down in the corner, Thunderhill, Dockstader. Davis back for Hill, looking for Thunder, and Lucas Hugel collides with him, looking for the loose ball, and they'll muck it again. 5 on the shot clock. It is pulled out. Arrows already starting their change, though, accepting the inevitable, and as this is taken across the timeline by Zach Coleman, that will do it for the Arrows power play. 0 for 2 on the night. 1 for 4 are the Oakville Buzz. Under 5 to go here in the second period. 2-1 lead for Oakville. Jake Dawick. That one power play goal, the difference so far. Rebound picked up, Kelleher. There's a tie-up in behind the play. Official Dale set is right there as there continues to be words between Hayden Thompson and Brody Thomas. All of that happening while Xander Durkatz rips a shot and scores. You'll see a lot of floor here and only 4 defenders because of the mix-up in behind our camera shot, and Durkatz just going to see enough space and room, the same spot basically from where O'Maracle scored his goal back down that end of the floor in the first period, but now making it 3-1 in favor of Oakville. Jake Wright picking up the assist. And this has been a trait of Oakville, is down the floor. Durkatz looking for another, trying to the dive attempt, and the ball went wide as he slid through the crease. Owen Van Loon up and across center. 3 goals on the night for the Oakville Buzz. 7 different players have registered points, which seems to happen quite often when they keep games low scoring, can score in transition and can share the ball around. Jack McAlpine out in front of the crease. That bounce shot heads up and into the netting. Nola Squire lowered the shoulder into his man, and now Thunderhill out of the corner. Watching a sidestep by McKay. Jimerson up at center. Cutter through the middle, and Tyler Davis's shot just wide. Bounces up into the Six Nations bench, and they'll give possession here to the Buzz with 3 minutes to go in this middle period. Lucas Hukel slams on the brakes. He'll head off now as he puts it down in the corner. This is Dawick. They're going to leave Dawick all by himself. Big pick comes from Luke. No return pass as the defender slid over nicely. Long shot there. Robertson eats it up. And now outlets for Cole Palace. Palace being spied by Bagnall. Comes to Davis. Gets it in the stick of Ross Hill. Hill finds the cutting Davis on the give and go. And now Cole Palace shrugs off a check. Aaron pass bounces right to Mancini in his crease as we near the 2-minute warning. 25 saves on the night for both of these netminders now. Jake Dawick mishandled that briefly in the corner. That's right, Trying to find Cy Deer cutting through, and pass just too high. Malachi Good for Deer. Here comes Durkatz behind the back. Oh, that was going to be nifty, both from Durkatz and the potential finish from Jack McAlpine, but kind of danced himself out of his joints and lost his balance right in front of the crease, right at the tail end of the shot clock. Oh, miracle. Lone goal scorer for Six Nations so far this evening. Here's Rivera. Back through the middle, sidearm shot on the run. Off the end boards. Miracle. Can't get a lot on that release. His defender, Hayden Thompson, was right in his face, and Thompson may have got a piece of that shot. He's kind of hobbling over center, but stays on the floor, however, with Kyle Carey bringing it up over center. Approaching the final minute here. Six Nations took a timeout in that first period. Oakville still have 2 remaining for Joel Johnson and crew. Here's Josh Dawick. In for Luke. That's Jake Dawick to Luke Dawick. We're going to say that a lot this season as they put it behind an opposing goaltender. And make it 4-1 for Oakville. Almost looks too easy for the brothers who have been playing polo on this floor for a very long time. Dong will crouch over center here. All of a sudden a 4-1 lead. I know it's 4-1, but for Six Nations looks a lot bigger than what 3-1 looked like for the majority of this period. We'll see what Durkatz and crew can do here with time ticking down. With 30 to go, though, it's turned over. Here comes Six Nations, 2-on-1. Keeping and shooting. Low shot there. That might be Davis. That's Duntu Van Dommelen who took that shot. And how about a credit to Lucas Hukel. Official OJLL gear now available at the Bar Down Shop on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse website. Visit OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. Click the shop link and you can get all your team branded merchandise, as well as there's still some, I see the Minto Cup link is still there. It's where you can get NLL stuff as well, but all specially team branded apparel now available at the Bar Down Shop at OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. OJLL.com officially launched today. There's some of it available in the lobby at these games, as I'm sure there will be on Saturday as well when we return. A 7 p.m. start against the Brampton Excelsiors and the Oakville Buzz. Tomorrow night at the Pickering Rec Center, the home opener for the Toronto Beaches, a rematch of last night's 11-9 game victory for the Beaches over Whitby. Willem Firth, a 7-point night. How about 8 points for Greg Palmer in that one? And then Peterborough at Mimico also on Saturday. The home opener for Six Nations will come on Monday, a 4 p.m. start on Bread and Cheese Day out at the ILA. Net empty for Oakville as they try and go up by 4 here in the late stages of this second period. Malachi Good and Jack McAlpine keeping it up high so far. Here's Good. Good down to the crease. McAlpine swarmed there, picked up well, falling the shot from Durkatz and no return. Good does take one well after the shot though, and Van Loon wants a piece of him. Say a word, and team's already in the change, and look out here as Brody Thomas with a purposeful walk all the way down. I think wanted to say something. I'm not sure if it was Jake Wright or Malachi Good that took that late shot, but teams will get 10 minutes to cool down, grab your favorite drink, and do the same. Maybe it's one from one of our sponsors. You're watching Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action from the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre.
On our family dairy farm, there's a saying that the sun doesn't start the day, we do. It's our daily reminder to be our best, make our best. And that our dairy farm doesn't just take care of our family, it's part of something bigger. That's dairy done right.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Gatorade.
Well, some action to finish our second period here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. As this last second play, keep your eye in front of the crease here with a lot of action between Brody Thomas as he goes back after Xander Durkatz knocks him down. Whistle's going to go right about here, and the late shot from Malachi Good is going to draw a lot of attention. Now keep your eye on the left-hand side of your screen where Thomas will come back with a purpose, bypasses everybody to go over and say a little hello to Malachi Good. He's going to be in the box for 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike to start this period. 4-1 is the lead for the Oakville Buzz as they go to their 5th power play of the game, 1 for 5. There, the only goal scored by Jake Dawick. Just making sure all the right numbers are in the right spot. We got the right numbers on the floor. Oakville will go right to left here in this final period. And left to right for Six Nations. 31-27 shots also favor Oakville, as does the scoreboard. 4-1. As Chris Dong and Ross Hill will go grill to grill looking for this opening face-off. And what a battle it is to gain possession here. Finally pulled out by Dong, and it goes all the way down the floor for Lucas Huko. Xander Durkatz finds McAlpine coming off the bench. Right up top as they set up the power play. 10 left on their shot clock. McAlpine to right, down in the corner, on the run. Low shot there from, I believe that was good. Now McAlpine gets the rebound and reset the shot clock. There's Dawick, right. Luke Dawick finds Good through the middle. Looked him off, went to Durkatz. And I think the defense got confused there as well. Xander Durkatz, second of the game. Seems like every time the ball comes near him, he gets knocked down too, but fun player to watch is Xander Durkatz. Took a shot there. Luke Dawick, Jake Dawick, and now Xander Durkatz. Only 3 players out of the 9 that we've got putting up points off 5 goals for the Oakville Buzz with multiple point nights. And Durkatz has a pair of goals. Possession, though, to Hodo Martin and Six Nations. Martin briefly had it to Davis, who gets it back, takes it to the net, and there's the answer. Davis has been trying to work this give and go all night long, and finally it connects with Hodo Martin taking the ball outside, and that's a big body through the middle that should have a pretty decent season for this Six Nations Arrows squad. Tyler Davis, one of 8 returnees, if you include Ethan Robertson, the starting goaltender, in the lineup tonight, of course. Starting off this early, a lot of players still south at school. Other commitments. These are the games you need to win. Minute and a half in, we've already got a goal per side after goals were hard to come by in the first 2 periods. Ottawa Smith. Saw Smith go off in that second period after blocking a shot. You just see him back out there, worked over Dawick to strip that ball free. And now Davis is back out there. Davis shot through traffic, sprung the stick right out of the hands of Ethan Kelleher, and now Mancini, a nice recovery to put the left wing on a save. Working out of the corner, spinning around, Winter Rivera, shot, and another save from Mancini as they're coming from all directions now from this Arrows team. Hill off the bench. Looks left at Jimerson. Back for Dockstader, the shot. Mancini the save, and Jimerson there to pick up the rebound. Jimerson fighting for it, as is Dockstader. Ball loose in the corner, pushed ahead by a Buzz player, but straight to Thunderhill of the Arrows, and Dockstader faked high, went low, and rebound in the corner, picked up by Chris Dong, and finally out of the Buzz's end after about a minute 45 seconds. Dong might have taken a departing shot there. It looks like he's going off, perhaps hurt, as the Dawicks. Jake to Luke. Get it started for the Buzz. Luke trying to find the cutting side. Deer missed behind, and ball goes over and back, giving Hodo Martin a fresh 30. Davis. Now Martin. Thunderhill brings it down. Played back here for O Miracle. For the longest time, he was the only goal scorer for Six Nations tonight. Thunderhill's shot bounces off the foot of Hayden Thompson. And now Coleman lowers the shoulder, going straight through Thomas. Brody Thomas continues to chase Coleman, however, and Coleman gets in the double team. Close to a hold there from Isaac Squire-Hill. Got that free arm out of the way just in time, and now passes the ball away to Durkatz to make the change. Durkatz around two of his own players, setting screens in front. Shot went wide, so when the rebound's picked up, there's 5 to go in this shot clock. No room for Marcus Kelleher to get one. Side Deer now trying to hold his man up. Six Nations bench looking for a holding call. Deer even looking around to see if there are any arms up. There are not. So play continues. Here's Thunderhill. On the bounce to Rivera, and intercepted. Chris Dong got there first, and Dong gonna run away from his man, take the shot, and Robertson the save. Dong went through the crease, so as he touches it, it's turned over. Mexico now pulling out an 8-3 lead we hear over the PA system in-house. The other game in Junior A tonight. Down is Tyler Davis in the middle, and this time Roger Nurse has his arm high. Davis still on his knees, gets up right here as Mancini makes the save, and high stick is going to be the call. As Davis is checking for blood under the face mask. Watch as he comes across here, and looks like the butt end on the check from Lucas Hukel, unintentional. May have got up either under the face mask or in through the grill, not sure. But either way, just the third power play of the game coming up to Six Nations. And it will be Tyler Davis that starts it. Just him and O Miracle, the only offense for the Arrows so far tonight. Low shot from Dockstader, save made by Mancini. Davis gets it back with a fresh 30. Davis, cross there to Ross Hill through the changeup. Then Davis had to run past the pick from Roger Nurse to pick up that rebound. Here's Davis, the shot, and Mancini steers it aside. Rebound straight out to Chris Dong, and up over center will be Thomas Bagnall. Bagnall's first Junior A game tonight, we understand. As Jack McAlpine takes over, now Durkatz. Minute left here for Oakville to kill off the penalty, and the intended pass went in the stick of Robertson. Hedoa Smith finds Thunderhill and heads to the bench. Davis back out there. Trainer did briefly check on him when he got to the bench last time, but appears to be okay. Rivera up top, and an extra dance from Martin to get on his correct shooting side. Mancini the save, but the shot clock did reset. No look pass, cross floor for Davis, and then cutting back to the net on the far side was Rivera, but as they tried to return the pass, it hit off an Oakville stick, and then Dong got it up over center. Here comes Wright. Only 8 seconds to kill off, so Jake and Luke Dawick will just keep the ball high here and wait for us to go back 5-on-5, which we do right now. 5-2 the score. Oakville Buzz hanging on to a lead with 12.5 to go. A long outside shot from right there off the shoulder of Robinson. Dawick got shoved down right at the face-off circle. Side Deer looking for help, and Deer will find the long pass out to Dawick on the far side. Jake Dawick took the shot, was filled in afterwards, and hit a body in front anyways. Van Loon down floor. He's held off there by Hayden Thompson, who then gets the partial interception and took it as far as the restraining line. Had to deal with Dockstader, and elects to now find Kyle Carey and the rest of the Oakville offense. Jack McAlpine over the top. All tied up was Marcus Kelleher, and then McAlpine gets buried there. Ball remains in the stick of Cole Powless, though. Thunderhill back for Powless. Powless all the way cross floor off the stick of Rivera, then the glass as ball comes down. And somehow into the crease of Mancini. I'm not sure if Thunderhill got an actual shot away or deflected off a body, but either way, bounced all the way down floor where I is Squire Hill. Got it back to Rivera. 11 minutes to go here in regulation. 5-2 Oakville lead. Remember 5-4 last year between these two teams in this building, although it was Six Nations victorious that night. Thunderhill trying to flip it back. Carter Moran runs away from pressure. Ryan Parker. He'll flip it here to Durkatz. Durkatz finds Good. Last one off the bench here is Kelleher. That's Marcus giving it to Durkatz, double screen. No room for him to shoot up top, however, on the recovery play by Kenny Porter. Robertson down floor, finds Porter, who was snuck out a couple times tonight. As did Dong, and Six Nations called for the crease violation. Bagdon brings it up into the offensive zone as we pass the halfway mark of this third period. 30 saves for both goaltenders in this one so far. Robertson didn't have to make his 31st as that ball bounced wide. And now Owen Van Loon. No one between him and Mancini. Here comes Van Loon off the inside of the post and out wide. When Van Loon decides to take off, showed last year there's not a whole lot of people in this league that can catch him. And he's good to do that a few times per game. Only really the first clean look he had here tonight, and just so close as he rang it off the inside of the post. Durkatz, now Kelleher. Had it cleanly stripped. And back the other way. This is Cash Dockstader. Slams on the brakes. He'll let Rivera and the offense get out here, but they're starting to run out of time. Hodo Martin. You look at 8.5 to go, and you think that is plenty of time, but goals have been at a premium between these two teams, and especially here this evening. 3 on nobody breaks out for Oakville. Jake Dawick the shot, and well, he didn't know he made the save, but Robertson did as he got caught up in his pads. Keeping the Arrows alive right now is Ethan Robertson. Davis wheels over the top. Low shot. Mancini the save and was looking around for the ball and ended up finding Thunderhill underneath of him. And when he took a step backwards and fell over top of the Arrows player, I think it was actually Miracle at the bottom of that pile, but Oakville took exception. Zach Coleman heading off. For a roughing call, and I think that's probably it right there, grabbing the face mask. Yeah, Simon D'Souza's hand. The ref in the middle of that pile somewhere. You just see the penalty arm go up. Well, what a chance here for the Arrows. Their 4th power play of the game. Just 2 goals to speak of so far here this evening. Joel Johnson wants an explanation. I actually thought the penalty was coming to the Oakville player who took Miracle into the crease to start all that, but they go with Zach Coleman, and Six Nations goes with the shot from Dockstader. Mancini the save and the reset and a clean interception back the other way. Led by Bagnall. He's got Dong trailing, slams on the brakes, turns, fires, and again Robertson looking for the ball, but it hit him and went in the corner. Dong was there to pick up, and holding call coming up here against Six Nations. Luke Dawick will rag this as long as he can to take penalty time off the board. This will be exactly a minute after the initial penalty, and clock will stop. Oh, well, maybe. Just outside of 7 minutes to go. There it is. You can see the tug over the top of the shoulder, and play that Six Nations got very close to taking one earlier. That time called for the hold. So we'll play a bit of 4-on-4 here for 56 seconds. Under the corner, pass looking for good. Bounced off a body and out past Robertson. A lot of room to work for these 2 offenses now. And Brody Thomas looked like he may have stepped on the line, but it was that part of the line that's not there in the face-off circles. So officials roll no over and back, and Arrows continue with Rivera. Going to be forced the long way around the net. Likes to stop and still can't shake Thompson before it's knocked out of the stick of Miracle. Down goes Carey just inside the lane, and Six Nations coming in again. Mancini got it caught up somewhere, and a late hit coming in from Thompson right into the back of Miracle will keep the ball right here in Six Nations stick. 8 seconds left of 4-on-4, which will then turn into a power play, and bench calling for an Oakville hold there, but they'll get possession on the loose ball interference against Davis. Fresh 30 seconds. Just about 6 minutes to go here in regulation time. Arrows need a goal. This is now an Oakville power play as their 6th of the game. No shot for Rivera. Miracle came to set the screen and not allowed Mancini to see the shot, and he makes the save. 5.5 to go. Oakville still leading 5-2. Luke Dawick down into the corner. Middle of everything, as he usually is, Malachi Good. Luke Dawick for Jack McAlpine. That shot hit a body in front. Nicely picked up there by Wright in the corner. Luke Dawick faked low, went high over top of everything, and then Wright picked up the ball as it was in the crease. So be turned over here to Six Nations, and they'll be able to kill off the remaining 6 seconds of their power play. Oh boy, but they misplayed it right at center, and they give it right into the stick of Luke Dawick. A number of moves, but ran out of room, touching down in the blue carpet. Shot it wide anyways, so bit of a moot point, but my goodness, what a chance there for Oakville perhaps to ice this one. Space opens up and a bounce shot back the other way for Damon Dockstader. How the game changes in an instant here after the clean breakaway from Luke Dawick. This is the end result, a whole ton of floor to work with for Damon Dockstader, and he puts the bouncer right through the legs of Mancini. It's a 2-goal game with 4:41 to go. Eric Martin, his second assist of the game. Ross Hill also picking up the apple. Hukel trying to play the face-off off the glass. It drops back into the stick of Rivera, and he'll quickly pass here for Kenny Porter. Porter being worked over in along the glass. Couple Buzz players coming, looking for a ball that never pops free. Porter's going to go all the way around the boards before finally being taken down by Hayden Thompson, his number 2 counterpart. Pass looking for Thunder Hill. Not far enough, and Chris Dong won't get the quick restart. So he'll head off to the bench with Ross Hill. Bit of a heads-up play there from Ross Hill, going hard after that ball. McAlpine got filled into the outside boards after passing that ball away. McAlpine recovers now to take this pass, and the shot off the pad of Robertson. He's got a man all the way down floor. It's Thomas. And Brody Thomas can't pick it up cleanly. Gets filled in by Jake Dawick, who gets up and hustles off the floor to get a defender to take his spot. Hill. Back here for Dockstader. Shot nowhere near the mark as Eric Martin will recover the play. Dockstader wants to try again, went for the same spot, and that time the stick of Mancini was in the way. Out here, Oakville again. Carter Moran in all alone. The shot saved by Robertson. As the Arrows continue to press. Six Nations bench wanted a too many men call. And now a collision on the way to the bench. Knocked the stick out of an Oakville player's hand. Buzz are going to get the ball after all of this. Kelleher just had to desperately throw it back in the direction of the timeline. Dawick was there but couldn't pick it up cleanly, and Owen Van Loon was nearly home free. Not for a nice back check by Dawick. Hoda Martin. Up top, Thunder Hill. Out to the outside. Rivera. Oh, they thought it was in behind the net, but ball ends up on the backside of the net. And we remain 5-3 with 2.5 to go. Durkatz facing a double team. Hops back, spins away, getting dangerously close to that over and back line. He'll find McAlpine, who'll go for a run. The trailer. How did that stay out? I think Robertson made a great save, but McAlpine's going to get a second opportunity as we hit the 2-minute warning. Oakville bench want them to take this clock all the way down. The one on your screen not correct. We're using 15 on the trail clock, and now it will reset on the run from Jack McAlpine. Robertson there to make the save, and we're in the last minute 39, and they're going to call the big man to the bench. Owen Van Loon starting this six-man set for the Six Nations Arrows. Hidden ball play with Hill. They go put it back into the corner. Over the top. Oh, miracle. Oh, goodness. Looked like that hit Bagnall right in the helmet. Went down momentarily, but popped right back up. Arrows back with the ball. Minute 10 to go. Quick stick chance, and just missed the stick of Ross Hill. Out to the outside is Rivera. Oh, Miracle takes the shot. Save from Mancini. Quick stick, Thunderhill. And I think Hukel got just enough of the stick to turn that one the wrong way. Inside the last minute. Ryan Barker will slow things down. Luke Dahlwick coming off the bench here. 16 seconds on the shot clock in-house. And as it's picked up by Nola Squire, the second timeout will be called by Stu Montour. And I wonder if he's got a 2-point play queued up in that chalkboard of his, because going to need a quick one, a face-off win, and a miracle and a prayer to hopefully get back in this one. Our next broadcast, we remind you, we'll be back here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center on Saturday night. 7 p.m. is when we go live for the Brampton Excelsior's Oakville Buzz. Also coming up this week, tomorrow night, Whitby and Toronto at the Pickering Recreation Center, an 8 p.m. start there. Peterborough at Mimico on Saturday at 7 p.m. Entire schedule is available at OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com, as is the official OJLL Bar Down Apparel store, where you can get all your favorite team and league merchandise. Again, you can find that on OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. Click the store button in the top right. And there's the live games button there as well. So be sure you subscribe to this channel right here, and you won't miss any of the action. Tyler Davis gets past one. They need the quick shot, and the ball ends up bouncing off a defender, and there's a big scrum for it. Oakville picks up, and did they call timeout? They're going to discuss it down on the floor. It looked like Simon D'Souza had his arms waving, and Mancini will walk away from the scene of the crime, as there are tons of sticks, gloves, and everything up here. And thought we were going to get Winter Rivera going with Thomas Bagnall, but when Lucas Hukel jumped in, they looked like they said no, and Brady Thomas is back in. Dong and Eric Martin have each other's face masks, and man, Bagnall in his first junior game has really ticked some people off, apparently, including Winter Rivera. Bagnall getting called off the floor. Rivera's going to chirp him the entire way. Now the rest of the Oakville bench want a piece, as this all starts with ball down and one eye on our replay screen, one eye down on the floor. As you can see how that all ignited. My goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the Six Nations penalty box. And it looks like we're going to get 3, 4, 5 in there for Oakville as well. .24.5 seconds to go in this one. Oakville up 5-3, and the entire lines are in the penalty box. Your guess is as good as mine what the calls are going to be coming out of that one, but Live scoring also available, by the way, on OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com. That's where you can find out in real time what those are. Oakville called timeout to start all that. So maybe it's a good chance for us to do the same. You're watching Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action for the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Well, this sport normally changes on the fly. One of the most interesting 5-on-5 line changes you'll ever see as we remain 5-on-5 here at the track and head on a swivel for Roger Nurse, Simon D'Souza, Dale Set here down the stretch. But we watch Xander Durkatz complete the hat trick and ice the game. You would have to assume now with 13.8 to go, 6-3 for the Oakville Buzz, who look like they are indeed going to take their first win of this season. Game just 3 goals shy of making it out of the first round of the playoffs. This is a team that's only been in Junior A for their second full season. First official season came in the bubble. After being promoted from a Junior B team, they've promoted a number of players to the NLL, and they've got lofty goals this year. Had lofty goals last year of winning the Minto and ran into a hot goaltender and a hot Orangeville Northman team in last year's playoffs. But they're off to a hot start here. 6-3. The Oakville Buzz take their first victory of the 2023 season. A reminder that we'll be back here at the track on Saturday in their second game when they'll face another team that didn't make the playoffs last year, the Brampton Excelsiors. 7 p.m. is the start time for that one. Our producer for the JVI Sports Network, Gary Morrison, for Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, Colleen Grimes. Our director tonight has been Rachel Wolf. On behalf of them and everyone else for the OJLL and the JVI Sports Network, I'm Matthew Carrick. We'll talk to you again on Saturday.